Okay, hey guys, we're back for a mock test in Mill Hill today. We have the lovely
Kaya.
Kaya. Nice to meet you, Kaya. And have you done any tests before?
Yeah, I've done 2 tests.
What happened on your last one?
A pedestrian crossing. I didn't brake. So
Was it zebra crossing?
yeah.
Okay.
Zebra crossing.
Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, when you're ready, drive on, please. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna talk you through the test. I'll go talk you through all the faults that she made, and I'll give you some advice on what to do as well on the route. So right now, Kaya's doing really well to check her mirrors, do her blind spot check, and then moving off smoothly. The handbrake was on, but only for a moment, and she realised and she put it down. So not enough to get a fault. But make sure before you move off, your handbrake is down. So this is the 30 section
Take
here.
the next right, please.
You don't have to go really quickly straight away, but you're going to see throughout the video, Kaya's got an issue with speed, especially approaching things too quickly. So into this turn here, I would have gone a bit slower there, but she managed it okay. But then look what happens as we approach this junction
Right at the
here.
end, please.
So she's dealing with this meeting situation really well, slowing down, going through nice and slowly because there's not much space there. Got to learn her doing the parallel park there. So we're turning right, but look at her face, look where she looks. Yeah, she's looking only to the right, and then she's crept over the line. And then she's rolling backwards now. So 2 serious faults in a go. You shouldn't be coming out past the giveaway line without checking the left and the right, but she was only checking the right, which is why she got a serious fault for observation there.
At the end
And
here,
afterwards she
turn
dealt
right,
with it pretty
please.
well. And if you are going to roll backwards, or if you need to go back for some reason, do your checks first, go into reverse and do it properly. Very awkward turn here because you can't see properly on the left, but she done that really well. Into second. Now we're approaching this roundabout that's on the hill. Watch how she does this hill start.
At the roundabout, turn right, please.
So turning right, getting into first, handbrake on, biting point, handbrake down, smoothly off the clutch, a bit of gas. That was really good. Later on in the video, you're going to see the same roundabout, but she does it completely the opposite way, and she stalls because she rushed it. But that time was really good. So if you want to do a hill start, that's how you should be doing it. And going past Mill Hill Test Centre on the left there, so be really careful, guys, when you're coming out of there, if you got your test in Mill Hill. Turning left. This roundabout. She's got a habit of signalling at the same time as she checks her mirrors. So I'm going to keep an eye on that and possibly give her a fault for it, because you're supposed to check your mirror, and then signal. There's no point checking and signaling at the same time, because the whole reason for checking is so that you can see if anyone's next to you before you signal. But if you're signaling at the same time, then really there's no point checking. Nicely done into this turn.
Okay, when it's safe, can you show me how to open and close your window, please?
So you notice I've asked her a show me question, but we're on a bit of a bend here. The key wording on the show me question is when it's safe. So don't do it when it's a bend or when you're dealing with a lot of things. I would have waited a bit until I got to like around here somewhere and then do it. There's no rush to do it, by the way. So take your time until you find a nice place where there's not much going on and do it there. Much less chance of getting into an accident. So there, didn't check her right mirror to go around that car. So a fault for mirrors there. You're supposed to check each time you go around something, check that mirror first. If you're going around to the left, check the mirror first. If you're going around to the right, check that right mirror first and then go around if it's safe. So meeting situation, I would have been going much slower through here. It's a bit tight there. So even if the car's waiting there, you don't need to go through there that quickly.
Left, please.
Just take your time. The faster you go through those situations, the harder it's going to be to deal with. and then left onto Mill Hill Broadway. Sometimes they go right towards Mill Hill Circus, but now we're going to go towards the Broadway. And this area can get very busy, so don't rush through this bit here. So this is 30, but right now she's doing around 17, 15, which is okay because it's quite busy here and it's quite tight as well.
Take the next road on the right, please.
So taking the next right, and then watch what the red car does in front of us.
On the right.
Mm-hmm.
So they've seen a gap and then they've taken it, but they're driving on the wrong side. And Kaya's smart not to copy them, because it's quite easy to follow the driver in front of you and think that they're right, but there, the best thing to do was wait until we get to this section and then make our turn. So well done, Kaya. Yeah, so this speed is a lot more manageable. You see, it's not as scary as she went past the other meeting situation when I was saying she should have slowed down. That's the kind of speed you should be doing when there's a car waiting for you like that and it's quite narrow. No need to rush.
Take the next right, please. Sorry, this is further than I thought. Take the next right, please.
I think I've said the instruction a little bit early there. I thought the road was a bit closer.
Pull over on the left, please. Don't worry about any driveways. Yes, please.
And then pulling over on the left, she's still in second gear right now. And then she tries to move forward a bit, but because you're in second gear, that sort of speed is not going to work. Which is why it's stalled. So if you're trying to do those little moves like that, you need to go into first. Otherwise, it's not going to work that well in second gear.
Thank you. Drive on, please, when you're ready.
Lovely observations there. Well done, Kaya. Good blind spot checks, making sure that it's safe, and then moving out. So you see the sign on the left there? And then the sign across or by the barrier, by the central reservation. Now look how long she's going to take to come out of here. People get really impatient when they get to this kind of junction, but if it's busy, you have to wait. People are going really fast there.
Sorry, you can't. You're gonna.
So she's about to go.
Second, yeah. It's not gonna work.
But then she was in second gear. I forgot about this one. She was about to go, but she was in second gear, and I wasn't gonna let her go in second gear onto that lane there, because she would have slowed down too much, wouldn't have worked, and then she would have stalled. So she got a serious fault there for being in the wrong gear. Especially if there's a car coming towards you. If there's a car coming towards you and you're in second gear coming onto a dual carriageway, there's no way you can pick up speed in time to drive out the way safely. It's not going to work. Now it's about waiting again for a nice gap, and then onto the dual carriageway. So once she joined it, that was really good, but in the first place it would have been better if she was in first gear, and then she wouldn't have got that fault.
We're going to go straight to second exit, please.
Going straight second exit here should be really in the left lane, but this lane is okay as well, but the left lane's better for going straight second exit. keeping an eye on the lights, make sure that they stay green, and then sticking to your lane here, and then signalling left to come off. Really, she should stick to her lane, because look those cars trying to creep into the roundabout. Some of them might come on thinking you're going to stay in the right hand lane. I would have stayed in the lane until I got to like this point and then switch over. We discussed it after. It's not ideal to be switching lanes there, especially when there's people waiting to come on. Slowing down nicely, bringing the clutch up. That was really well controlled. So you see there, she went into one quite early. Avoid going into one that quickly or that soon. Then going kind of quick towards this car in front of us. There's another car coming down the road. Dealt with it okay in the end, but I would have been going a little bit slower again through there.
At the end of the road, turn right, please.
So as you can see, Kaya's got the basics of driving pretty well, but it's just her speeding letting her down. So she's not going over the speed limit, but just her speed in certain areas is letting her down a bit, and it's gonna make things worse further down into the test.
Then take the second left. It's first left, is it?
So you see they're whacking it into first, kind of early, kind of going fast as well. Probably could have taken that in second. Remember, you don't need to go into first for every single turn. It depends on what's going on and how slow you need to go. But if you're doing above 10 miles an hour into the turn, or just around 10 miles an hour, second gear is fine. If you need to go extra slow, or there's something going on in the junction, or you can't see what's going on into the turn, then I would use first. But don't make it like your default gear to go into every time you turn.
Pull over on the left, please.
And this is where we're going to do our parallel parking.
Can I stop there because of the drive?
It's fine, yeah. Okay, thank you. So shortly I'd like you to
And
carry
she's
out
about
a
to
reverse
make-
parallel park exercise, okay? So when you're ready,
I want to say
pull up
silly.
beside this car and then reverse.
Yes, an
into
avoidable
the space
mistake.
behind it. You can
She's about to
finish
make a
anywhere
really
within 2
avoidable
car
mistake
lengths
in a
from that
second.
car. You can finish blocking the driveway as well, but just don't drive onto the driveway.
Okay.
Yep. When you're ready, please.
So good observations to move off and then positioning herself to the car, but then she's getting close to it. Too close. You see, she's ready. The bonnet is quite close to the other car. The wing mirror is quite close as well, and her wheels are facing towards the left, but I don't think she's realised that. And then she's gone too close.
You're about to
I've had to brake
mirror
because if I didn't, she was going to hit the other car's mirror. So she could have started reversing from there. She didn't have to go forward anymore. But if you are going to go forward, make sure that you know which way your wheels are facing. Otherwise, you're going to be driving into the parked car, which is not ideal. Also, she's putting the signal on for the reverse. That's not really necessary. it just makes it more distracting and you something else to think about. When your reverse light is on, everyone knows around you that you're reversing anyway, so you don't need to put a reverse, or you don't need to put a signal on. If somebody's stuck behind you or they don't know what you're doing, then you would put a signal on. But most drivers will see your reverse light and go around you when it's safe. So she's doing really well right now to wait for those other vehicles to go past first before reversing. Spending a bit too much time looking to the left though. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Kaya. Looking over the right shoulder. People forget that too much. They just focus so much on the mirror on the left that they forget about looking over their right shoulder. You're better off stopping, checking, moving, stopping, checking, rather than going that much time without checking over to the right. So right now she's really wide. She's ended up really far away from the curb because she was using reference points to do this, and she wasn't really watching the mirror in relation to the curb and making adjustments based on that. This is not really a good way to reverse, guys. Learn how to steer and get the car from the left to the right without relying too much on reference points. Once you can do that, you can park anyway, you can reverse anyway. If you get stuck in a situation where you have to reverse, you can do it really easily. And it doesn't take that long to learn as well, but if you just only rely on reference points, you're going to get in situations like this where you have to then make adjustments. So right now, what she's doing right now, which is looking at the mirror and making adjustments, she should have been doing that from the start and it would have worked. But she's only doing it now once. It doesn't work. That should have been her plan A. Yeah. So look at the mirror and then turn based on what you're seeing in the mirror, not just relying on reference points. So she managed it in the end.
You done?
Yeah.
And I believe her wheels are still sticking to the left. So this is something that she might have to work on.
Ready. Sorry, before you drive on, go into neutral for a second, please.
Yeah.
Remembering which way her wheels are facing, because when she tries to move off now,
we're going to go to the end of the road,
could be an issue.
turn right, and then start following signs for edgeway, please. Yeah. So turning right and then edgeway. What are we doing?
Going to the end of the road, turning right, going to follow signs to edgeway.
Yeah. If you're not sure on this occasion, you can ask, okay? But ask him plenty of time so I can help you. When you're ready, please.
So you see, the car started to go towards the curb because she thought the wheels were straight, but really they were facing towards the left. A right mirror check would have been nice there to go around to the right. So bear in mind, guys, she hasn't driven for about 3 months or so. So when you don't drive for that long, you're gonna be a bit rusty. This is the first driving lesson, or driving after a test, which was about 3 months ago. So if you have got a test coming up and you haven't driven for a while, start doing lessons way before your test is due. So that way you're already in the zone of driving and you're not kind of starting from scratch almost. You're not rusty. Because on her last test, she only got 1 minor and 1 serious fault. Because she'd already been practicing the days leading up to it. So you're waiting for a nice safe gap, then making her move. But on the exit here, you're supposed to check your mirrors when you're coming off. But I don't feel like she was checking them enough there, or at all. What do you guys think?
Now follow signs for Queensbury, please.
So remember, the next stage now is following signs for Queensbury. Sometimes they get you to follow signs for Edgware as well. Which would be towards the right, but Queensbury is going to be straight at the next lights. So you see the sign there telling us Queensbury is straight ahead. Turning right here can be really tricky, so if you're doing your test in Mill Hill, I definitely recommend you practice this junction turning right. It's not easy. Now pay attention to the road markings and the signs coming up, because a lot of people miss these. It's easier when there's cars in front of you doing the right thing, but if you're the first car and there's no one else around, it's really easy to miss these signs. And a lot of learners, sometimes they'll go towards the left here, like straight towards the bus gate. You will get a serious fault for that, and if you're driving by yourself when you pass your test, you're gonna get a fine for going through that section. You need to come this way for the cars. So make sure you're paying attention to the road markings and the signs, because if you are paying attention, it shows it quite clearly what you need to do. Yeah, Kaya needs to move the head a bit more when she's going around things. She's not really checking her mirrors. I hope she checks it here. Let's see if she checks it to go around this car. Yeah, you see, not really checking the mirror. There could be a bike there going past or trying to overtake. So I'm going to give a serious fault for that, because she's done it a few times now. Yeah, check your left mirror to go back. But she's too focused on looking ahead that she's not really thinking about what's on her sides.
Pull over on the left in a safe place, please.
Okay, so pulling over here, doing around 23 miles an hour, and she goes straight for first gear. Not the first thing you should be thinking about. You should be thinking about slowing down, positioning yourself correctly, steering correctly, and then if you need to, go into first gear. Remember, you can stop in third gear if you wanted to, or second gear. You can stop in any gear you want. You don't have to go into first before you stop. That's only if you're trying to do really intricate moves.
Driving.
Then you go into
This
first.
part, we're going to go to a roundabout and turn right, fourth exit. And then at the second set of traffic lights, turning right.
So roundabout, fourth exit,
Yeah.
second set of traffic lights. Right.
Yeah. So it's going to be a pedestrian crossing. That's not a traffic light situation, which is like controlled by lights. And then there's a traffic light, and then traffic light, and then the second set of traffic lights will turn in.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Again, if you're not sure, you can ask.
Okay.
Right. So what we're doing?
Fourth exit
Mm-hmm.
and turning right at the second set of traffic lights.
Yeah. When you're ready, please.
So it's going to take a long time for Kaya to come out of this space here. I would normally skip it, but I'm not going to skip it because I want to show you that sometimes it takes this long to come out of a parking spot. and that you don't need to be stressed or worried that you're taking too long, because if you can't come out because it's busy, you just have to stay there. So right now, because of that van and those parked cars, the cars coming towards us are driving basically in the middle of the road, and if Kaya came out at that time there, she would get in their way. So she's doing really well right now to wait for them to clear first, and she's also thinking about the cars that are coming from behind. So you're thinking about the cars coming from ahead of you and the cars behind you. If the lane was really big and there's no cars coming towards us, or they were in their own lane, then she wouldn't have to worry about that. She could just come out when the cars from behind are not too close. She's also got to think about the van that's parked there. It's really wide. I think it's the delivery driver doing some deliveries, and when he comes out, that's going to be a possible issue for Kaya as well. So you see, he's indicating to come out now. And then she's come out. So here it's about keeping an eye on him, making sure he doesn't come out at the same time, taking it slow, making that van do his thing, and then carrying on. So that was really good. So it took a while, but she done it safely. It's the main point. So she's cancelled her signal, didn't put it back on. Remember, we're going right 4th exit, so her right signal should be on right now. But watch the way she does her positioning. Sticking to this lane. This is a spiral roundabout. And look how beautifully it takes her out of the roundabout. Yeah, that was really good. If only she signaled right at the beginning, that would have been a perfect roundabout situation there for Kaya. And then taking note of the 40 sign. And there's a coach blocking our lane. And she done well to get into that lane. That was really good. Nice mirror check, signalling, and then going back to the left. Well done,
So
Kaya.
these don't count as traffic lights, okay?
So right now she's doing quite well, but things are gonna go really badly. So this is the nature of the test, guys. Sometimes you can be doing really well, and then a few seconds later, it all goes downhill. But let's see. I want you guys to tell me what you think as well. So we're approaching a set of traffic lights, and she misjudges it, and I've had to brake for her. I want you guys to tell me, would you have stopped there, or would you have carried on through the lights? Let me know in the comments. So you see the lights have been green for ages, and then now they're starting to change. She's gone for the brake, but then she changed her mind. Then I've had to brake because it was going to go through a red light. Would you guys have stopped, or would you have gone through? Let me know in the comments, guys. So I reckon if she had committed to when she was braking the first time, she would have stopped. Maybe not that smoothly, but it would have been a good stop. But because she changed her mind, and then I had to brake a bit later on, that's why it was a bit rough. And she could have avoided all that by slowing down earlier. So if the lights have been green for that long, we don't know how long they've been green for, you need to start slowing down earlier in case they change to red, which is what happened just now.
Lights. Yeah. Slow down more,
And then back to 30. Remember, we're turning right at the next lights. So she should have been in the other lane anyway, but there's a police car there trying to go past. But if that car wasn't there, she should have been in the lane much earlier than that, so that she doesn't have to struggle to get into the lane now. And there as well, if there's been a lot of cars moving out the way for the police, I wouldn't be quick to go through that section there, because they might have moved out into the left lane just to let the police car go past, and they might want to go back to the lane that they were in originally. So don't be too quick to go past them. Just take your time to go through slowly and see what everyone's doing first before you do that.
Okay, that's the end of the independent driving. I'll give you directions from now on, okay?
So we've got this car in front of us here, and most drivers don't follow the speed limit. Most of them drive faster than the speed limit. So it's not a good idea to copy their speed. So right now they're leaving us behind. I'm not sure if Kaya is trying to keep up with them or just not realizing how fast she's going. It showed 31 on that speedometer there, but on the dashboard it was showing 35 or near 35. So that's a serious there. Don't copy other drivers. Do your own driving. Focus on how fast you are doing.
Traffic lights, turn right, please.
Okay, and then coming up to Edgware now, where we're turning right at these traffic lights. It's pretty clear. Sometimes it's quite busy here, but right now it's very empty. So it's nice and easy to do. So right now we're in the right lane, and she does check her mirror. She's gonna check it again. So we're in the left lane. We're gonna go into the right lane in a second. I want to see her check her mirror for this. Okay, it was very subtle, but she did check it. Make your mirror checks a little bit more obvious. I don't like the idea of like acting out that you're checking your mirrors, but
Next traffic lights, turn left.
if you are going to check them, move your head a little bit so that everyone knows that you've checked them. Yeah, and then again, signaling at the same time as she's checking the mirror. Check them before and then put a signal on. And then turning left towards Deansbrook. And we're going straight second exit at this roundabout. Watch how she signals or doesn't signal. So good on the entrance. Right now she should be checking the mirrors and signaling left to come off, but no signal there. I think she just forgot, so that's something you got to think about when you're doing this. And now if you look at the speed, it's showing 21, but on the dash should be showing around 23, 24. I think she didn't see the first signs.
Next roundabout,
But now it's back to a 30 zone and approaching this roundabout. We've done this roundabout earlier and she's done it really well, but watch how she does it now. She's approaching it really fast first of all, braking quite late, which was a little bit harsh. Then she's tried to move off quickly.
Yeah, I saw it.
The answer is yes, Kaya. You stalled because you were rushing, so just take your time next time like you did before. Yeah, that's much better. There's no reason to rush hill starts, guys. Just take your time with it.
And then take the next right, please.
So excellent positioning into that box there. Letting the car coming out know that we're not letting them out first. We are going to turn first. And we're also out the way of the cars that are going from behind us and going past. That's how you need to position yourself in these kind of boxes. And then that car's letting us come through. Kaya's seen that and she's made her move. Really
Pull
good.
over on the left, please.
So we're going to park up here and then I'm going to let Mark and Kaya take over on the debrief.
Thank you very much. Okay, switch the engine off, please. Okay, Kaya, how do you feel that went?
I mean, I made some dumb mistakes. I know it's a definite fail because you have to touch the brakes. But,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're saying it's a definite fail. Where did you fail?
I was next to the car
Mm.
when you broke, and then the traffic light.
What happened with the car?
I just genuinely didn't see the mirror. Like, I was looking at the car, not the mirror, so yeah.
Okay. And with the traffic light,
I thought I could make it, but
yeah. There's a theme happening here. You're going too quick.
really?
You're approaching things too fast. Even this roundabout just now.
Okay.
Didn't you feel that it was a bit quick approaching it?
Yeah.
Or not really?
Yeah.
Think about how you braked. It was quite harsh.
Mm-hmm.
Then you tried to move up quickly again. That's why you stalled.
Mm-hmm.
Just take more time. Yeah. I reckon if you were slower, I'm not saying drive slowly everywhere, but approaching things slowly. So I wrote down, you're approaching things too quick. So like lights that have been green for ages. That one, the one we went past earlier where I had to brake for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's another time where we're approaching a pedestrian crossing and it was green, but people had been waiting there for some time. It could change at any second, but you like didn't really register it. You're still going quick. So that probably would have happened on your test as well, where you're approaching the zebra crossing too quick and then you have no time to like react, and then the examiner's looking at you like, wait, is this person going to brake? Okay, they're not going to brake, then I'll have to brake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're not really reacting to things that are happening in front of you until it's a bit late. Do you know what I mean? So when you see something in front, like a light that's been green for ages, you should start slowing down a little bit just in case it changes.
Mm-hmm.
If you see a traffic situation or a hazard in your way, you should start slowing down a bit, and so that you're not braking hard or braking really late. Yeah, the basics are there.
Mm-hmm.
If you just start slowing things down a bit, you can pass easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the first two you got were just on that junction there where we met that bus. Right at the beginning, yeah. You probably don't realise it, but you got to the junction and you look into the right, and then you went out, and then you're like, oh, am I too far out? Yeah. So you were too far out, but the fact that you were too far out wasn't the biggest problem. It's the fact that you didn't look left. You just came out, and then you're like, oh, I'm too far out, and then you start thinking about the left. If somebody was there, they would have crashed into us. Yeah. You need to check both sides first, and then go over the giveaway line if it's safe to do so. Yeah. And then same point, we rolled back there loads. I think because you're saying you're too far forward, so you rolled back to go back to the giveaway line. You shouldn't be doing that really.
So
yeah.
should I just have gone?
No, just stop where you are, check the surroundings, and then the boss is telling you to come out and then go. Because you're saying you should have just gone, but you couldn't have done that because there's a car coming from the left. Remember, you had to wait for that grey car. Yeah. So if you had just gone, that would have been worse. That would have been a dangerous fault. Yeah. So if you've gone that far back, just stop for a second. Don't just start rolling back straight away. Somebody can be behind us. Yeah. The other one you got was the parallel park. We already discussed that one. Your speed. You're twice your speeding. So once when I said to you, are you going too quick? This is a 30 road. And then again another time when it was a 20. I think you realised a bit later that it was a 20 along Deansbrook Way there. Yeah. So that's how much that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the traffic light situation. Yeah. So these two happen in the same spot. This one could have easily been avoided, the parallel parking one, just by stopping and because your wheels were facing to the left as well towards the car. So then when you went forward a bit, it got really close, then I had to brake. Yeah. You're asking me, should I go forward a bit more? You're fine where you were. Just start from there. Yeah. So in a lot of situations, the examiner will say, do what you think is best. Because remember, they're not supposed to be like... They will help you a bit sometimes, but if it's a situation where you can deal with it yourself, they'll just say, do what you think is best. And there, you could have just started reversing back. And showing them that you're going to bash the mirror is not going to be like, a good thing for you to show them, because then they'll think if I give you a license, you're going to go and scratch someone's car once you go for a drive. Yeah. The speed one, this is something I see all the time. People feel like when they go on the test that they need to show the examiner that I'm really good at driving, so I'm going to go really quick everywhere and I'm not a slow driver. That's not how driving works or how the driving test works. You want to show them that you're safe. All right, there's something coming up. I'm just going to slow down a bit and then carry on. Yeah. You're much more likely to fail going too quick than going too slowly. I'm not saying go slow everywhere, because you will fail for that as well, but within reason. Yeah. You didn't fail for this, but you're going into one way too early as well. Sometimes you're gearing down into one too early when you're approaching things. There's one time you're pulling over And instead of just like concentrating on the pulling over, you started to think about going into gear 1 first. Focus on the slowing down, getting the car right, and then if you need to, go into gear 1. Most of the time you don't need to go into gear 1 when you're pulling over, unless you're trying to do like really tight little moves. Yeah. A few minors. So you've got mirrors before signal. Sometimes you're doing it as you're signaling. So you check in the mirror and then you're doing the signal at the same time, when it should be mirror, mirror, and then signal. Yeah. Signal correctly.
On that roundabout.
Yeah.
I realised, yeah.
On the big one, yeah?
On the big? Oh no. What was I meant to do?
Signal right and then signal left to come off.
I think I done that.
No.
But I think I maybe signalled left late, like as I was.
Nah, so what you done was you signalled right before the petrol station.
Yeah.
And then I think you saw a little side road and then you cancelled it and then you didn't put it back on again. So you got into the roundabout with no signal on, going all the way around, and then you put a left signal on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You don't think
I don't remember that. I was
like, wait, that's not how it
talking
happened.
about Apex.
No, Apex you don't signal to go. No, Apex you don't signal to go on because you're going straight.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one where we're independent driving, we're going 4th exit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
that
totally
one.
don't remember where I did.
Yeah, you didn't signal. You signaled to start with, but then you cancelled it for some reason. On Apex, you didn't get a fault for it, yeah, but be really careful there because you started off in the right lane, yeah, or in the middle lane, yeah, and then that lane can come off as well. Ideally, what lane should you be in to go straight 2nd exit?
The left.
The left lane, yeah, but you were in the middle lane, not a big deal.
Okay.
But the problem was, you started to go left as you were before you came off, and there were cars waiting to come on. So some of those cars, some of the drivers might be thinking that you're gonna stick to your lane, that you're not gonna suddenly start to change lanes as you're like approaching the exit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So they might have like.
They might have already started to come out,
when
thinking
I'm
that you're already there, but you're going into that same space as them. So just be more wary of that, okay? Just go further next time if you want to change lanes, or go off the roundabout first and then change lanes. It's much safer that way. If there's no one around, then obviously you've checked your mirrors and you can change lanes like that, that's fine. But when there are people like edging to get on, it's not a good idea to like suddenly switch lanes. Yeah. So we already talked about the signals. And then the last one that you got for the signal was the smaller roundabout going into the 20 road.
Yeah, I think that's the one I was,
Yeah, you didn't signal left to come off there, yeah. You remember that one, yeah? Cool. Mirror, change direction. One time or a couple of times you didn't check before. No, you were checking loads of time before you went round. It was when you were coming off a roundabout. Yeah, the same roundabout that you didn't signal left to come off. We done that roundabout by going right 3rd exit to go towards Edgware. You didn't check your mirrors to come off as you're coming off.
Okay.
Yeah, check your mirrors there, please. That's pretty much it. Yeah, but a lot of these could be avoided if you just kind of like tone it down a little bit. Yeah.
I think it's because I haven't driven in a while.
For a while.
So,
Yeah. Once you get like into the flow of things, you'll be more confident about dealing with certain situations, and then you won't feel like the need to rush. You probably didn't feel like you're rushing, did you?
No, but I've been told like before that I need to slow down.
Yeah, you do.
I approach things too fast.
Yeah. I reckon if you didn't do that, you probably would have passed your first test. Oh, your second one with the zebra crossing on, right? Yeah. That you would have easily passed that one. Because that's the kind of fault that you get if you're going too quick towards things. Do you know what I mean? But, so not bad overall. So let's swap over.